That would be yes or no. I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'll hold this since I have to have it. It has been an amazing 6 months, actually 6 months yesterday, that I became the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City. I'm very grateful to our team, our board. I have 2 board members here with us today. Rona Kaplan, thank you so much for attending. And Liz Beth, thank you so much. We have a board of around 21 people that are committed to the youth of Atlantic City. So, and thanks to my team, Brianna and Sharon, for being here today. And thank you guys for coming. You said, what I have to say to you? What is it that can I say to you that you will be moved or touched or impacted by? And so, most of you in the rooms are seasoned professionals, at least I thought so. There's a couple of, Brianna and Sage, you guys are just starting out in your careers. So, but most of us have been around for a while. And so if I had a topic or a point to ponder, it would be, what is our why in this moment of life? What is our why in this moment of life? This is a very sobering statement that I make, and I make often, is that I have lived longer than I have to live. And so when my time is up, I want to make sure that I'm completely exhausted at every gift, every talent, every calling, or anointing that's been placed in me. So I have to maximize every second and every moment of this thing called life. We are our own PR council. We are our own brand. We are who we are. We're our own ministry. We are who we're on this earth to be. And I truly believe that is to serve others. So for someone like me, born with meager means out of South Carolina, rural South Carolina, I would probably be categorized as someone who wasn't supposed to make it. I grew up down a dirt road, very quiet at night. There were no neighbors. And then 12 years ago, God had a sense of humor and moved us to New Jersey from Atlanta. So totally different, but God has a sense of humor. But I was born into a 2-parent home in a very loving family. I have over 300 cousins spread throughout this country, and we're all very close. That's a Southern thing. But I was also known as an achiever in high school because there was a stigma, particularly when you grow up in socioeconomic backgrounds in poverty, that, again, not supposed to make it. But I had a 2-parent home. My parents were together. My father ended up going back to school after graduating high school and becoming an engineer. My mother worked for GE for 36 years. But again, I was that kid that really wasn't supposed to make it because of my surroundings, my environment, of growing up in the rural South. I was blessed enough. I was an overachiever, like I said, in high school, student council vice president, class president for all the year. So I knew there was something that was driving me. Little would I know that my life and what I feel is my calling and purpose would be actually working with youth later on. And so I went to college. I attended the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina. And that's a place where you definitely aren't supposed to make it because they put people in place to make certain that you don't make it. It's a military college. Your freshman year is very hard. Went through a lot of national news when I was there as a freshman. So I've always been around for big things happening at my college. I was fortunate enough later on to be on the board. I was appointed by the governor to be on the board of trustees, and I was on the board when we elected to have women come to the Citadel. And so, again, I'm there for all these transformative events that happen. And so, even with all the challenges, I flourished. Upon leaving college, I went to work for Dow Chemical, became an engineer. I worked in the finance industry, got into the nonprofit space, and lo and behold, here I am now, the CEO of a 50-year-old organization that's been around making impact in Atlantic County and changing lives. And so, again, I wasn't supposed to make it. So many people perceive the youth that we serve as kids who are not supposed to make it. And that is absolutely not true. We have brilliant, dynamic kids in our organization. I was interviewing a young man the other day for a position, and he started off in one of his answers saying, well, I know our kids come from a very hard background and, single parent home and drug ridden. And I said, let me stop you right now. That's not our kids. That is not our kids. We have several kids in our club that we serve, over 300 kids that come from two-parent home, both parents work. But Boys and Girls Club is a youth development organization. We are an enhancer to the education that the county gives, that the city gives. We are a boost. We are that shot of energy that make our kids the absolute best. The paradigm of thinking and the perception, unfortunately, in the area is that we're a babysitting service and that we got the bad kids, the kids who just can't make it on their own. I have a dynamic student right now by the name of Tammy. One of the things I do, I go through and I ask the kids, show me your report card. So the best thing about public relations is really what? Relationship, right? So you have to engage your end user. You have to engage your customers. So I engage my customers. I engage them and say, show me your report card. Number one, they're very glad that someone asked. And when the other kids who don't have the app on their phone see that I'm asking, no one has said, I don't want to show you. They said, I'm going to bring my card next week, or I'm going to show you. But Tammy is a dynamic student. She has all A's, but she has an F in honors geometry. And she said, oh my God, I need to drop this class. And I said, no, you're not dropping this class. And so I'm like, staff, we got to call the principal. We got to make certain that she has a tutor. Well, we did research, and there's a shortage of tutors, particularly for this new math, which I'm still trying to understand. 1 plus 1 will forever be 2. I just don't know how new math is so confusing that even seasoned math people, like I'm not touching the new math thing. I have several kids like that. We have one kid, we taught him a drone. He came in, we learned drone. I think he took some drone classes at ACC. Amazing kid. He has not only started his own business, he's filming drone throughout the region and making money from it. Those are the kind of kids that we have. It's 1% probably of those who may give us some issues or some challenges, but that's not everybody. And because that 1%, that there's really, we will not leave anyone behind. We have a dedicated director of behavioral health. We speak to mental health, mental issues, trauma, adverse childhood experiences. Do everybody know what ACEs? Have you ever heard of ACEs? ACEs is, oh wow, interesting room. ACEs is advanced childhood experiences, and it's trauma that's happened to kids between the age of 1 to 18. Well, I'm a certified trainer in that, and one of the things is, if we can stop that with the trauma before they get to 18, then we've actually done very well. But you got to have a staff with capacity to address that. And so our vision of helping those who need us the most is very prevalent, but more importantly, my personal mission and vision, as people ask me, so what's your goal? Is to make our club the absolute best club in the world. And you do that by exposing our kids to opportunities, letting them know that you care, and giving them guidance and direction, and giving them every opportunity they can to succeed and be their best selves. And this is the why of this moment. And everyone in this room, I'm certain going through, particularly coming out of COVID, several times you ask, what is your why? What's my purpose? And my question will be, well, who will we be in this moment? Will we be in this moment? In the financial space right now, they're saying, particularly in nonprofit, that we're about to hit a fiscal cliff, meaning that people are going to stop giving money. And we got to start really going after individual donors. Individual donors can give once a month, but they're always going to be there. Most nonprofits, unfortunately, end up depending on government grants and really neglect the individual donor. You'll start seeing a lot of individual donor requests, a lot of engagement, a lot of you'll see our face. So this is PR, we'll talk about PR. People won't know who you are unless you're out there. And so there's a misconception that nonprofits need money. I can spend $100,000 right now so fast your head will spin. I need $42,000 to do the furniture over in the teen club. I need $30,000 for our music room. That's 70. I need another $30,000 for, what's my other thing? I need $30,000 for
sound system in the gym.
the sound system in the gym. I need another $3,000 for the sound for the scoreboard in the gym. That's $103,000 right there. And so there's always a continual need to be able to supply what our kids need to be their best selves. I'm very appreciative of every gift of what people want to give. But don't call me and say, hey, I got this old keyboard I had for 10 years and I'm ready to upgrade my house one and I'm going to give this to you. I am so appreciative for your gift, but it's 10 years old. How am I going to teach my kid on 10-year-old equipment? We were fortunate enough to bring in an artist in residence as the first year we've ever did this. I was able to find some extra money in a grant. He is phenomenal. He is world renowned. He writes music scores. He teaches lyrics. He tells them about the theory of music. And you say, why is that important? Because most kids, particularly in our community, and if they're biopic, if they're BIPOC, they have an interest. They want to lean toward music. They want to lean toward rap. Or Kendrick Lamar, which most of you may not know. Kendrick Lamar had a 4.0 coming out of college. 4.0 and coming out of college, and he's one of the most world-renowned musicians today. Artist, lyricist, rapper, all of that. And so we established this program so we could establish theory with the kids so they can understand the base and the foundation of music, if that is what you want to do. We're working with ACC now with professional development classes for our staff. Again, I tell people all the time, and this seems to be the theme this week, and the day's only Tuesday. My customer is not necessarily the kids. My customer are those who serve the kids. So I have to make sure that Sharon and Brianna and my staff that we're building have everything they need to be their best selves so they can impact and impart that into our kids. That's really what a CEO does. You've never met the CEO of Walmart. He says, oh, my customer, the one walking through the store, that is my number one. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. It's those who serve the customers that are important. And so our brand and what we say and what we put out there is very, very, very important. I ask that everybody, if you have your phone, follow us on LinkedIn, please. Please, if you're. Matter of fact, we can take a couple of seconds because I'm almost finished. You pull out your phone, pull up your LinkedIn. I'm asking y'all to do something. Y'all looking at me like you're. And if you don't have LinkedIn, that's fine. But if you have LinkedIn, I would ask that you would pull it up and join the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City. We have like 897 when I looked at it today. So if we can leave here and get over 900, that would be great. Because you have friends that see what you post and what you're connected to. And we post positive stories. We don't talk about raising money or taking money all the time. But there's always a subtle reference. If this moves your heart, give. Give. This is the only way that change is going to occur. Coming from the rural South, and again, growing up in my certain socioeconomic, and you come to a city like Atlantic City, 48 blocks, 6,800 kids. There's sometimes a paradigm of we want to keep the kids in the 48 blocks. And in my interview, I told them, I said, I see Atlantic City as something totally different. Atlantic City is an international city. People come from all over the world to come to Atlantic City. And so we have to be able to expose our kids to that, our members to that, and they can see it. So we have a relationship with Live Nation, so when artists come in, sometimes we're able to connect with them, and our kids are able to meet with them and talk to them and see their lives in the world. And we want to bring in people in aviation, people in other spectrums of life in the world, so they can be exposed to that. And they can go out and learn, and eventually, guess what? They'll come back to Atlantic City and make it even bigger, better, and stronger. And so that's who we are. That's who I am. Nobody told me how long I had to speak, so I can go all day. So, but I would like to take this opportunity, and as you said, there's always opportunity to market and say who you are. So on each card, on each table, we have a card about Great Future. And if I said anything that you feel touched about or want to donate to, scan the QR code, and we'll gladly thank you and send you an appropriate thank you message. But with that, I would like to take a couple moments. If anyone have any questions, I will gladly answer. Yes, ma'am.
Are you a musician?
Oh, what now?
Are you a musician?
Why would you ask me that question?
Why would you ask me a question with a question?
This is going to be fun.
No, because you seem like you have a passion for it, and especially for the kids. And I feel like anybody that has that passion must have a background or at least a deep love for music.
Wow, that's a
So are
great.
you a musician?
That's a great question. I am not a musician, actually. But I do have an amazing passion. And this is probably the first time I've spoken and have not cried. No, I'm serious. Because I am so passionate about the kids. And I say this often, is that the kids are not the problem. Again, I've only been here 6 months. But so when you meet people, all the kids, all the words, and I start looking at the kids and talking to the kids, and I'm like, it's not the kids. It's the adults who are responsible for leading and guiding the kids. And that's a hard reality for a lot of people to accept. I've had multitude of positions that I've been hiring over the last 6 months. And this is Atlantic City. We're going to have a very transparent conversation. So people will send you resumes of people they know in Atlantic City. They've been in Atlantic City all their life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Please hear me. There is nothing absolutely wrong with that. But if I'm looking for someone to be my college and career person, I need you to at least go to college. Right?
Right.
And so, you again, this is, for me, it is certainly not about politics. It is about the children. And so I have to make decisions, and then I have to go back and answer to the person, well, you didn't have the person I referred to you. And I said, well, they really weren't qualified to do what we need to do to meet the needs of the children. But eventually they understand. So I see everybody. If you guys could see your faces, oh my gosh. But yes, I have passion for the kids. And I am not a musician. I don't play an instrument. But I used to sing in another life.
It was there, yeah. I knew it was in there somewhere.
Yeah, Dr. Wallace, when I told friends of mine that I was coming to this luncheon and you were the speaker, the question that they had to ask you, are you going to still be doing, I guess it's men and women are cooking, I guess.
Great question. I don't know if someone really did. Okay. So, in our 2024 agenda, drum roll please, we will be reintroducing the Men and Women Are Cooking event. And you can donate today by scanning that QR code and buying your ticket. So we're working on the concept of that right now. It will probably look somewhat different than what it has in the past. Again, we are an international city, so I always sort of direct and tell our team, if we're going to do it, let's do it right and let's do it big. And so there should be some very exciting things coming about the Men and Women Are Cooking. But thank you all in advance for purchasing your ticket. Okay? A couple more questions? No one?
Come on.
Ask me now.
I have another question.
Absolutely.
How is the new restaurant venue
Good question.
going to shut down?
Great question. So she says, how's the new, we have a new cafe that we opened. So let me make the statement. Nonprofit is a tax status and not a business model. I want everybody to hear that. And so we have a club called Club Café. It's a social enterprise initiative that we're doing. And so we hire kids there from 18 to 24 because one part of our mission is to be a 2-generational club, which means we're able to assist not only our members, but their family, their parents, their brothers, their siblings, between the age of 18 to 24 who may be having challenges finding a job or learning a soft skill or service skill. And so this gives them an opportunity to be able to work and make money. And so they're becoming baristas. They're learning how to make coffee. They're learning how customer service at the window. And they also learn how to cook the breakfast sandwiches and the muffins and engagement. And so it's going well. We're increasing and enhancing our PR. We're going to order some flags and put out front, and probably going to readjust our hours so we can really capture the teachers who are coming in. But so far it's been great. The Hydrangea Club ride their bikes. They came by the other day, they got coffee, and they said, you know what, we want to plant hydrangeas. And so we now have beautiful hydrangeas in front of our Club Café. So come by and see us, 317 North Pennsylvania. Any more questions? Oh, yes, ma'am, we got one.
No, I didn't, you know what I was gonna ask was about donation, like if somebody were to donate for the music or something, what do they get like honored for something like that? Like if someone gave a $30,000 donation, do they get something for that?
These questions are like set up questions for conversations. She said if someone gives a donation, will they be honored? We will always honor you and say thank you, and we are forever grateful. $30,000, thank you very, very much. We can talk about some name recognition.
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, that's good, because sometimes 30,000.
People like things named after them,
Oh,
if you know.
oh, she's asking good questions. So let's start at the top. If you want to build a name after you, most colleges, you see people's name building. That's like a $5-10 million gift that comes within a certain period of time. 30,000 will get you maybe
A little plaque.
a plaque. I can do a plaque for 30. But 250 might get you a bigger plaque. 5 million, I'll name the building after you. So, but that's how that works. But yes, I'm very big on thank you. I am very big on thank you. I don't have enough time. I can't write fast enough because I'm old school. I like to write handwritten notes. That's very important to me. Thank you are the most important words you will ever hear. And donors and people just need to hear thank you. That's a good old PR trick. Just say thank you.
I was in Las Vegas, and this was a while ago, and the Boys and Girls Club out there was named after, I think it's one of the athletes. I mean,
There's several.
Exactly. I mean, that might work here in Atlantic City if you could get.
Which athlete?
I don't know, but we
He's
have a
probably a club kid.
Yeah,
He's probably a club kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Smokey Robinson is a club kid.
Okay.
And he has been here and done fundraisers. So a lot of them are club kids. And that's why they give back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shaq was
There's
supposed to
several.
give to us and
Who was?
Shaq.
Shaq.
He's still not here.
He's
Mark
back.
Wahlberg is there, there's so many.
A lot of times they want to give to their areas or their neighborhoods where they're from or where the club really touched them. And so, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Baseball players were serious.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, it has indeed been a pleasure. I want to thank everyone. Thank you for your attention today. Hopefully, I leave you with something impactful. It will be your why. I challenge you all, as they say, we're in the season of giving now, and just for us, we just want people to know what we do. In the 6 months, I visited, different restaurants, different bodegas, diners in the city, and I'm surprised that the people who've been here for years really do not know what we do. Some of them don't even know that we're here. And that's really interesting. And so sometimes you have to do some grassroots guerrilla marketing in the bodegas. If you go to Gilchrist, you'll see a little table tent by the register that talks about this Boys and Girls Club. And so those are the kind of PR messages that we're putting into place. We'll be having some lunch and learns come by and tour the facility and talk to us and see our staff and see what we offer for the youth of Atlantic City. The best is truly in front of us, And again, I thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Shabazz, for attending today. He's I see him at every event. Brianna keeps my schedule, and someone says, I can't believe you go to all of these events all over, not only in Atlantic City, but all over the country. If it's for the good of our youth, I'm there.
And
And
Dr.
so,
Wallace, he doesn't drive a car.
oh wow.
He's everywhere. I don't know how he does it.
Well, he has a chauffeur.
Me.
And so, I definitely will certainly be speaking with Mr. Shabazz about some plans we have. We've had some preliminary conversations, but we certainly want to get City Council over to see the facility because several people have never seen it. And so, if you guys are interested, please give Sharon a call, and we'll arrange that and set that up. So I hope this time has been valuable. I hope you got something out of it. And again, who will you be in this moment, and what's your why? Thank you, and have a great day.